Hi, my name is Thomson, and in issue 80 of the Shed magazine I give you instructions on how to build a little mini cyclone like this. These have been very useful for me over the years. I particularly don't like dust. It's a bit of a health hazard, and it doesn't help if you have hay fever and react to it. But if you build these, it just minimises the whole problem with dust in the workshop. So this is the frame of my mobile unit. This was actually the first one that I made, and I use it all the time in the workshop to clean up just general mess. This part here is where the bucket goes into, and the top, this flap sits on top of the cyclone to hold it in place. On the back part here we have the power cord that goes to the wall, and then I have this power outlet here. The vacuum cleaner will plug into one, and if I'm operating a power tool I can plug it into here. So it's really a self-contained unit and works very well. So I'll show you how all this goes together. The vacuum cleaner, which is just an ordinary old machine, it will first of all plug the cord in here, and then the vacuum cleaner simply sits in its frame like that. The next step is to put the bucket in place, and the cyclone, it's got a base which fits the bucket. This is just a plywood ring which locates it, and you note there's no need for any sort of rubber seal there. When it's operating, there's sufficient suction to hold this very tightly. So that goes on there. A couple of pins which correspond to the holes in the little flap. Goes on there so that everything is all nice and secure. So that's the unit pretty much assembled. The next thing that happens, we just put our hose on there, one over to the top, and connect this one up, and it's ready to run. Very easy to move around in the workshop, and just very handy. This is my homemade saw bench. I fitted a vacuum unit to that also. And the container at the bottom is made out of plywood. You can see that there's not that much room for a drum, so it was just as easy to make up a square container, and that works very well. The vacuum cleaner is right underneath the machine there. When I turn on the main switch, the vacuum cleaner starts up at the same time. I also have a wall-mounted unit. The vacuum cleaner sits on the floor, hose comes up to the top, and then this will run through down the bench, and there's a little outlet to my sander and to another bandsaw that I have. I also made up a little slide gate so that I can shut that off or open it up depending on what machine I have it in use at the time. I know from experience that these mini cyclones are really efficient, but I was quite curious to find out just how good they are, so I conducted a quick test. I vacuumed up a measured weight of dust, 716 grams, using my wife's electronic baking scales, and then measured the amount that was collected in the bucket. The results were really surprising. 705 grams collected, giving an efficiency of 98%. I guess this explains why the vacuum cleaner bags last so long before needing emptying. So I hope this gives you a little bit more of an insight into how I've used these cyclones. They are really very easy to make, and great addition to the workshop. So if you want to see the full instructions on how to make the actual cyclone, have a look in the Shed magazine, issue number 80, and I'm sure you'll be able to get all the instructions that you need. Thank you.